Good morning. Welcome back to another wonderful start to a glorious school year. It's going to be a good one, team. I have high hopes for our productivity and our success this year. Welcome back to MAP4C. This is our grade 12 Foundations for College Mathematics class. My name is Kobe Flatt, and every Monday to Thursday, I will be going through the MAP4C course curriculum material. I hope everybody had a wonderful, relaxing summer. Hope you got to enjoy some sun and maybe work on some hobbies that you don't get to do throughout the winter. I trust that everybody is maybe not necessarily ready to get back to the school year, but are excited for what this year holds. I wanted to get a lot of our housekeeping things out of the way today. Today's class is going to focus just on the introduction to our new term, to our course, ways that we can be successful. In order for you to really gain understanding of concepts, you often need to ask questions. Especially because this is our grade 12 college math class, it might have been a while since some of you have done math. If for no other reason than it's just been summer holidays, summer brain, we want to sweep that fog away. It is always wonderful to check in, make sure that you are understanding concepts and getting clarification for the concepts that maybe are a little bit rusty or you're unsure of or it's been a while since or could be completely new to you. Because of that, I want to give you ways that you can reach out to me specifically for help. The Term 1A runs from today, September 2nd, until Halloween, October 31st. During this Term 1A, my office hours are Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can always call me during my office hours. If you don't get a hold of me, it's probably because I'm in the radio room on air presenting class. You can always leave me a voicemail and I will get back to it when I am back at my desk. Our number here at Wahsa is 1-800-667-3703. It's a toll-free number. You can call our line and they will put you in touch with any one of your teachers. If you've got a math question or you want to get a hold of me specifically, my line is 807-737-1488, extension 2228. Now, because my office hours are just until 3 p.m., it's a regular school day. I bring my kids to school, I come to work, I teach my class, and then I leave at the end of the school day to pick up my children from school. I recognize that a lot of you have that same schedule. A lot of you are parents or you are working full time. So you leave the house, you go and do a full day's work, and then you return home. Because of that, a lot of you will most likely be working on course material in the evenings. I want to encourage you that as you are working through the class material, that you write down any questions you might have. No matter big, small, math, or course related, please write them down and put them in an email. You can email me at jacoba.flat. That's my real name, Jacoba. A lot of people don't know it or recognize it. It's hard to remember, so I go by Kobe. But my email is my full name, Jacoba, Jacoba dot flat, FLATT, at nnec.on.ca. When you are working through your course material and you come across a question, please write it down in an email to me so that I can respond as soon as I get back in the office. This is a way to ensure that you are getting the help that you need. Sadly, most likely not at the time that you need it, but because of that, I do encourage you to skip the questions you don't know and move on to the next. That will help to keep your momentum and not have you sitting waiting until you know where to start. I am hoping that this class today, our introduction, alleviates a lot of the immediate questions you might have. I'm hoping to answer some of the questions that you'll come across as you start this course. One other way to contact me is through Facebook. Again, you can put questions in an email, but you can also put questions on Facebook Messenger that I will respond to when I'm back in office. You can find me on Facebook at jflat. That would be the first name, jflat. Last name would be Wahsa. So you can connect with me on Facebook at jflatwahsa. You can call our Wahsa toll-free line if you have a question during our office hours. You can call me directly at my desk, or you can email me personally. The goals that I have for us for this year are to make learning, especially specifically math, pain-free. I always tell my students that there's a lot of stigma surrounding math, that it's hard, that there are things that we have to learn that you'll never have to use, and often we get worked up when we find out that we have a math course that we need to obtain in order to graduate. For starters, this course specifically is to help those on the college pathway. If you don't have college on your horizon, there are other math classes that you can take. Just want to put that plug in there, throw it out there now, but know that I am here for you to work alongside you to help make you successful in obtaining this course credit. I always tell my students that when you get to the point of wanting to cry and throw your coursework into the wood stove, you've waited too long to contact me. Math should be tear-free, it should be pain-free, and I want to help you be successful in this course. So please don't hesitate to reach out and contact me in any of the mediums that I had previously posted. I really want to help you to understand the course concepts, not just doing it for the sake of doing it, getting it done and out of the way, and checking the box that I did this assignment just to get to the end to get the credit. I really do hope that we can embed some understanding, because if you're taking this course, you most likely have a college pathway in mind, and you'll want to know this for the program that you're getting into. So we don't want to just learn it for the test. We want to really know it. I am here for you to help you be successful, to achieve your goals. I wanted to share a little bit about myself, that I have been teaching for way longer than I care to admit, because when I admit that I've been teaching for 15 years, I think I can't. I just graduated university. I'm sure I'm still young, but I'm only fooling myself. So I have taught everything from kindergarten to grade 12 to adult education. I have been here with Wahsa specifically since January 2024 and love the challenges that it brings with learning remote. I understand how difficult it can be, and I want to help make it pain-free, that just because we're not working together in a classroom doesn't mean that I'm not there for you. This term 1A, I am teaching MAP4C, our Foundations for College Mathematics. Next term, I am teaching co-op. Co-op is a wonderful program that allows you to get credits for what you're already doing. If you have a job, if you have a job, you are working, then I can tack on credits for the work that you are doing. Term 2A, I will be teaching the grade 11 math for everyday life. As I said earlier, there are other math classes that we offer. If you are taking this MAP4C, you have that college pathway in mind. If you find it's not right for you, please reach out to one of our education counselors. We will be happy to find a pathway that better suits you. Lastly, Term 2B, wrapping up the end of our school year, I teach GPP 3.0, the Leadership and Peer Support class. It's a wonderful class for those that need an elective. Yes, I am shamelessly putting in plugs for my courses to help you get the OSSD, your Ontario Secondary School Diploma, the way that might be best or easiest for you will definitely be a conversation that you'll want to have with our education counselors. As we focus specifically on Term 1A and this MAP4C class, I wanted to share some incredibly helpful resources with you. The first is if you open up your independent learning booklet, you will see the study guide. The study guide lists materials that you'll need to be successful for this course, and one of those materials needed are a scientific calculator. I wanted to share an amazing free online resource called Desmos. Desmos Scientific Calculator is one that is accessible to most everyone. I'm going to pull it aside here to show you. This is the one that I'm going to be, I did not mean to do that. This is the one that I'm going to be using in class. You will notice that we are going to be doing a lot of calculations together. We're going to be doing a lot of examples, and I am going to run through it with you today what the sort of day-to-day looks like. But this online scientific calculator has everything that you will need to be successful in this course. We will be using the different functions available that Desmos Scientific Calculator provides. I will walk through how to do calculations as we come across certain formulas, but it's one that you'll want to bookmark to keep by you. The other resources that you might find useful are when you're working in the evening and I am out of the office and unreachable, you will sometimes want to figure out a concept on your own. If you're like me, yes, you can throw it in an email, send it off to jacoba.flat@nnec.on.ca, but you might say, I can do this, I can get this, I just need some other way for it to be told to me. Khan Academy are a bunch of various YouTube clips where they teach math concepts. If you were to type in Khan Academy future value, you could find a video clip on how to calculate future value. This might help you to get through a concept that you're stuck on in the evening when I am out of reach because I am out of office. It's just a nice little supporting resource for you should you need it. Additionally, there are amazing free math apps out there, ones that you can find online, ones that you can download to your mobile device. If you should need, there are resources available to you. Another resource that I'll show you today is Google Meet. I have been teaching math online for a while now and will be the first to admit it's not easy to do via email or messenger or over the phone even. It's hard when you have your own scientific calculator and I have my own scientific calculator and they're not the same brand and they're not the same. It's hard to explain what button you're looking for if our buttons don't look the same, which is also why Desmos Scientific Calculator Online is so wonderful, because then we're all on the same page using the same platform. But if you can't use that or it's not your preference, that's completely understandable. Google Meet offers the opportunity for us to meet face-to-face remotely. It's like Zoom where we can go through problems together. I can show you what it is that I'm doing and how to do it, and you can see it. It is something that we can just pull up immediately. You can call me and say, Kobe, I don't understand this. Can we meet? And I can send you a Google Meet link where we can discuss the concept at hand. Lastly are our Wahsa YouTube channel videos. I'm going to take you to that right now to show you that it's not working. My link's not there. Where is my link? Nope. All right, sorry team. Let me just try and pull up my link so that you can see our Wahsa YouTube. If you Google or type into your search engine Wahsa Distance Education Center YouTube channel, you will find all of our classes that have been previously taught. I have taught this MAP4C class before, so if you're on our Wahsa Distance Education YouTube channel, you can scroll to find MAP4C, which now that I've said it, I cannot find it. Let's go to our playlists. There's the MEL3E. There's the MAP4C. When you click on MAP4C, all of the classes are there from last term. As we go through this course, this term, I will be teaching class 1 is our introduction, class 2 is lesson 1, class 3 is lesson 2, etc. If you're on a roll, if you get going one evening and you're working away and you get stuck, and you're either stuck on the concept that we're on or you are ahead of me, that's okay. Future classes are technically posted because of last term. So you can go to Wahsa Distance Education Center's YouTube channel. You can find the MAP4C, Foundations for College Math. You can view the full playlist, and there you will find all of the classes that have course descriptions even. It will tell you, if you click on them, I'm going to try
Good morning.
to play that. It will tell you this is law of cosine. This class teaches us how to understand the use of, how and when to use cosine to find unknown sines and angles. You can skip right to, you will see on the slide on the YouTube clip the lesson that we're on. You can go through and find Kobe is just teaching Unit 1, Lesson 1. I'm on Lesson 4, so I'm going to skip to Lesson 4, but there's a Lesson 4, Part 1 and Part 2. So I want to find where's the concept that I'm stuck on. If you look at the description, it will tell you that Lesson 4, Part 1 talks about amortization tables, where we define and explore amortization tables. If you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I know that part, that's not the part I'm struggling with, then you'll want to scroll to Lesson 4, Part 2, for instance, and find what you need there. So there are lots of resources available to you to help you be successful in this class. The last resource that I want to highlight today is our Google Classroom. Every student who registers with Wahsa, or NNEC in general, gets an NNEC school's email address that allows you to log into Google Classroom. You're going to log into Google, and much like you would if you had your own Gmail account, you're going to log in as if it were your Gmail account. So you'll go to your search engine and you'll go to Google, and then at the top right corner you'll see your Google account. You want to click on your Google account. You want to make sure that it says at nnecschools.org. If it doesn't, you'll want to add an account. Maybe you have a personal Gmail account. That's fine. You can add another account and you can toggle, you can switch back and forth between the two, your personal and your school account. Once you add your NNEC Schools account, you then have the ability to access the app Google Classroom. And it's found in this little widget that looks like a bingo card. It's the square of 9 dots. You click on Google Classroom. You will be brought to all of your classes. Yours might not look the same as mine. These are all of my classes. If yours is blank, you do have the option to click the giant plus button in the top right that says create or join a class. You'll want to join a class. You'll want to ask your teacher for the course code, which you will find in your study guide, but you can also email me, message me on Facebook, call me, whatever it is that works best for you, and we can get you this class. You'll see listed all of your classes on the side. Once you click on it, you can toggle back and forth between your classes. The main areas that you want to pay attention to is the classwork tab at the top. Stream is like our feed. It's telling you what the course is about. It's telling you resources are posted here. Classwork at the top is going to be your main go-to. Yours won't have the people tab. That's just because I'm in teacher mode right now and the grades. But classwork, you'll see study guide, you'll see textbook, and you'll see workbook. The textbook is all of the information. The workbook is wonderful for keeping you focused. It lets you know just the work that you have to do and just the work you have to submit. Then on our Google Classroom, you'll see the radio Zoom class recordings. You can find them on Wahsa YouTube's channel, or you can find them here on our Google Classroom. All of the radio classes will be posted as we complete them. So this is mine from last term, last school year. As we go through each class, all of our classes are recorded. And they're recorded so that you can go back and listen at a convenient time. You can go back and re-watch, go through course concepts more slowly, pause, work on things as you need to. They are all uploaded to Google Classroom. If you have any questions about how to join Google Classroom, please do not hesitate to reach out to me and I'll walk you through that. I wanted to take some time to explain the similarities and differences between registering with Wahsa's Radio Zoom classes or registering for an IL course. That's that independent learning course. You're doing it sort of on your own. Now, the similarities, it's important to note that the course material is the exact same. The evaluations are the exact same. The resources, the questions, the assignments, they are all the exact same. Anyone can listen and participate in the Radio Zoom classes. All lessons are recorded and posted in our Google Classroom shortly after airing. Now, the differences between the two options are that Radio Zoom classes follow a schedule. We have 4 terms per year. We are starting off on term 1A, and all term classes run for 9 weeks. This term 1A runs from today, September 2nd, until Halloween, October 31st. Then we jump to term 1B. Classes change over. I won't be airing MAP4C anymore. I'll be switching gears and teaching co-op. Now, that does not mean that you have to do all of your course assignments in these 9 weeks. It's ideal. We want to, especially if college is on our horizon, we want to learn how to pace ourselves. We want to work on time management. We want to meet deadlines. If you are taking this course, please try to work on those skills. They will better prepare you for going into college. So although I'm giving you the option to, don't worry, take your time. If you don't get done by October 31st, you can keep working on it at your own pace. But try to challenge yourself. Try to make it so that you are meeting deadlines, you are staying on top of it. That skill will help you so much as you enter college. Another difference between the two options are that the independent learning courses have no deadlines. You get to work at your own pace throughout the year. It's wonderful if you've got a lot going on, you're a busy parent, you're working full time. Radio Zoom might not necessarily be the best for you, and that's okay. See what works for you. I again will state one more time, I encourage you to follow the schedule, stick to the 9 weeks, meet the deadlines if you are planning on attending college. It will help you so much with honing those skills. The biggest difference between Radio Zoom and IL courses are that it's during these Radio Zoom classes, Monday to Thursdays from 10 to about 10:50, where course concepts are explained in further detail, examples are shown. I am going to show you a little bit about what a regular Radio Zoom class will look like. It's going to start with, welcome everybody, here's our Radio Zoom schedule. Every Monday to Thursday from 10 until about 10:50, I teach MAP4C. Now, we never broadcast classes. There are no classes scheduled for Fridays. Fridays are a chance for you to get caught up, complete any outstanding assignments, reach out to teachers with any questions you might have. Fridays, we're almost guaranteed to be sitting at our desks. You can reach us at any time. It's a great breather for you to do the work that you need to stay on top of your coursework for the next 9 weeks. We are in week 1 of term 1A. We had Labor Day yesterday, so it was a holiday yesterday. There is a holiday for Thanksgiving coming up in October, and I do believe we just got a new schedule where September 30th is a holiday. It looked like on our calendar National Truth and Reconciliation Day, but I will double check that because I just got the calendar in my mailbox this morning, but we want to keep that Tuesday, September 30th. I think it's a red day. It looks like it's a holiday, but I'm not positive if we're teaching classes that day or not. But thank you so much. It is highlighted red. It says holiday. We most likely will not be teaching on Tuesday, September 30th because of the National Truth and Reconciliation Day. But I'll keep you posted as we come into week 5. As we get going and classes are in full swing, I wanted to highlight different ways that you can participate live. You can be listening on our radio station, 91.9 FM. If you're listening and you have questions, you can always reach out to call our Wahsa studio. You can reach us at 1-800-465-7144 or 807-737-4017. If you are following along with our Zoom classes, you can ask either myself or your DEC for the link where you can pop up, you can chat online, you can see here our participants, our chat box will be open if anyone has any questions. Just note that because our classes are recorded, anything that you type here that comes up on the screen will be captured and then saved to our Wahsa YouTube channel. Not to scare you away, but just want to make sure that there's clarity and transparency that that is what will come up. If you would like to join Zoom, I have a quick tutorial. I feel like it's been enough time now. Most people are comfortable with Zoom. But first you'll need the link provided by either myself or your DEC. When you open up your Zoom, which you can access with your NNEC Schools account, I just want to say your school email account gives you access to Gmail and Zoom. You'll want to click Join with Computer Audio. It's going to pop up a dialog box that says the class is recorded. All you have to do is click got it, that you understand everything is being recorded. On the bottom left side of the screen, there is a microphone icon and a video icon. The microphone is for speaking. If you want to interrupt and not type it in the chat, you can just say, hey Cobes, quick question. What does that mean? What are you talking about? Can you slow down? Can you say that again? And then you can unmute yourself. You can either show your video or not show your video. You can click on the icons to turn them on or off. If you need to leave a class, there's a great big red leave button on the bottom right of the screen. You don't have to stay in for the whole class. If you've got things going on, I get it. We're adults, life happens, things pop up. You can just leave as you need to and know that because it's recorded, you can go back and watch it and check anything that you've missed. I showed quickly the chat. You can write any questions or comments that you might have in the chat. There are sometimes it's more, depends how big your screen is, sometimes it's right there, but you have the ability to have captions. Subtitles are available for a conversation that takes place during class. Again, you can click them on or off. Getting into the meat and potatoes of this course, we have this IL format, the independent learning format, where you are given a book. Depending on your class, you could be given that textbook and a student workbook. Sometimes you're just given a textbook. Sometimes you're given, depending on if you're taking an English course, you'll have our what we call a textbook along with some reading material. There are novels that you'll have to have. Each class looks a little bit different. But if you come across an independent learning book that has key questions and support questions, it's important to note that it's the key questions that are for grades. You are asked to submit all completed key questions. Those are for marks, so you want to get them in. Especially in math classes, it's very important to show all of your work. Show your steps and thinking. It will help you to get full marks. If you just give me the answer and the answer is right, that's great. But if the answer is wrong and you don't show me your steps and thinking, I can't give you part marks. I can't see where we lost you. I can't see where it went wrong. Maybe it was just a calculation error. I just came back from my brother's wedding and all of the girls got manicures, pedicures, and for the first time I've got these fake nails, and oh my goodness, I don't know how people do it. You're kind of my heroes because I try to tap things on a screen or on my phone and it just doesn't acknowledge because of these nails. All of that having been said, if you're typing on Desmo Scientific Calculator and you've got fake nails for one example, it might not register. So it's important to show all your work because then I can say, oh, it was just maybe your nails didn't allow you to click that 3 like you were supposed to, and so you got the wrong answer. Show your steps in thinking. The support questions are just for practice. They are not for marks, so you do not need to submit them. Do these if you feel that you need help with the concept, if you want extra practice. When you get your independent learning course, you will see that it's broken down into units. Unit 1 is lessons 1 to 5. After lesson 5, there are support question answers. These answers are found at the end of each unit. Because I'm giving you the answers, there's no need for me to grade for marks because the answers are in the back. They're just for if you want extra practice. It's a great way for you to go through to test your knowledge, try the support questions, and then flip to the back of the unit and see if you've got the answer right. If not, see how they did it in the support question answers and try to work your way backwards if that helps. When you have completed key questions, I ask that you submit your units as you complete them. Please, please, please do not hold on to the entire course until you are done everything. If you want, you can send it in after every lesson. Realistically, it would be ideal if you could send it in after every unit. So once you complete lessons 1 to 5, it's the end of unit 1, send it in. Once you complete lessons 6 to 10, it's the end of unit 2, send it in, etc. All of our courses are 20 lessons. broken usually into 4 units. So in order to send it in, there are multiple ways to bring us your work. The first is you can scan your completed work. A lot of smart devices have apps that allow you to scan. It's so much easier if you scan as opposed to taking a picture because it compresses the file size once you scan it. Pictures are larger and harder to deal with, so even if you have only your phone, you don't have access to a scanner, you should have an app that allows you to scan. If you're using an Apple device, you can open up your Notes app and you can scan from there. If you're using an Android device, you can use the Google Drive app and scan from there. Once you've scanned your work, you can email it to us. We ask that all of your work gets emailed to studentwork@nnec.on.ca. It'd be great if you could CC myself. Remember jacoba.flat@nnec.on.ca, just because sometimes when it gets printed, the integrity of the work is lost. It's hard sometimes if you're working in a pencil. It doesn't print very dark. So if you can CC myself a copy, that would be greatly appreciated. If you want, you can scan and upload your work to Facebook Messenger. That's okay. We really just want you to be successful. It's not ideal because then it's harder to track, but if that's what it takes, that is definitely an option. Preferably, though, you'll be emailing your scanned work to studentwork@nnec. The other option is you could hand it to your DEC. Go to your learning center, give your work to your distance education counselor, and they will forward your work to us through the Express. If you happen to be in town, feel free to drop off completed work to our office. If it's after office hours, we do have an outdoor mailbox located at the side entrance. Lots of ways to get your work to us. When we jump into our class, you will see the topic for the class. So today's class is just an intro to going through our study guide. We're going to walk through the curriculum material, gain an overall understanding of the course. We'll explore the study guide and additional materials that will aid in your success of this course. You will see this at the beginning of every class. Let's refresh and review Google Classroom. So we're going to go to Google Classroom. Remember, we're going to look at the top where it says classwork, and the first thing you see here is our study guide. It's a PDF. You can click it and open it and scroll through it as we go. The study guide tells you the course. So we are MAP4C, Foundations for College Mathematics, Grade 12 College Preparation. The study guide also has all of my contact information should you need to get a hold of me for any questions or concerns. The first thing you'll see in the study guide is the course description. This course enables students to broaden their understanding of real-world applications of mathematics. You can continue to go and read through all of it, but I just want to highlight some things today for the sake of time. The materials that we talked about, this course is self-contained. It does not require a textbook. I'm calling the course material textbook just because I did create student workbooks for you, but there's no actual physical textbook that you're going to get mailed. You will need a scientific calculator, but as I have already mentioned, you can use the online resource such as Desmos Scientific Calculator. You will need lined paper, you will need graph paper, you will need a ruler, and a writing utensil, so preferably a pencil with an eraser. If you don't have lined paper, graph paper, ruler, pencil, eraser, please reach out to any one of us here at Wahsa and we will set you up with that. Each lesson introduces one or more expectations with examples. Each will be followed by support questions. At the end of the lesson, the key questions covering the expectations in the lesson are assigned and will be submitted for evaluation. So again, you only need to submit the key questions. This is what the support questions look like. This is what the key questions look like. One more time, if you need help, here's all of our contact information, ways to be successful in this class. In the study guide, I've put again how to access Google Classroom step by step for what you need to get in. And if you can't figure it out, please reach out and I will assist you. There is a page that talks about what you must do to be successful to get the credit. It talks about the different lessons, so Unit 1, Lesson 1 to 5. These are the titles, these are the concepts we're going to be covering, these are the key questions that you're going to need to complete. At the end, there will be a final exam. So in order to be successful, your final mark is going to be calculated. 70% is going to be made up of your coursework, 30% weighted for your final exam. Now, as we go through, you're also going to be assessed on learning skills and work habits. Every time you submit coursework to me, I will give you a cover sheet back that talks about your grade. It says what you got on the lesson. It will talk about tips maybe for bettering your work, what you can do next time, and it will also discuss some of these learning skills so that you can stay accountable for helping yourself to be successful once you go to college. All of the learning skills and work habits are described in the study guide. When we talk about responsibility, this is what we mean. When we talk about organization, here are some sample behaviors, etc., so that you know what you can be focusing on to be the best that you can be. Lastly, the study guide wraps up with some tips. The most important is to always show your work. Step by step, show all your steps and thinking just to get those full marks. Don't try to cram your solutions into the handouts. I did create a workbook so that you have more room, but if that's still not enough room, please use a separate sheet. Now, if you do use a separate sheet, you don't need to copy out the questions. That's a lot of work. That's not necessary. All you have to do is put your name, the course code, the lesson number, and the key question at the top of the page. Now, we're going to be talking about this in tomorrow's class as we start with Lesson 1. But math often has word problems. When you have a word problem, you are expected to give a word answer, so to speak. You are expected to write complete sentences when giving solutions to a word problem. We call this a therefore statement. In math, answering a word problem with a sentence is often referred to as a therefore statement. You read the word problem, you calculate the answer, then you write a therefore statement, which starts with therefore. Now, because mathematicians like to focus mainly on numbers and not so much on writing, they like to use this symbol of 3 dots. And these 3 dots that are in the shape of a triangle are known as therefore. So these 3 little dots means therefore. There's an example and tips for how to write your therefore statement in your study guide. Feel free to read that more in depth. When you work with money, another tip and trick is to always round to 2 decimal places. If your problem that you're working on, the question doesn't specify how many decimal places, it's usually safe to always just round to 2 decimal places, whether you're working with money or not. Sometimes it will say round to 3 decimal places. As we get going through a lot of these formulas, I will tell you that the more decimal places you include, the more accurate your answer will be. So that is something that we will discuss each class as to the best way to answer and how many decimal places to use. These are just simple, quick tips and tricks. Units of measurement. Units of measurement are used to represent physical qualities such as currency, length, mass, temperature, etc. When you are working on a question, be sure to always state your unit of measurement. If you're identifying your answer as kilometers, make sure you state kilometers. In your study guide, the last tip and trick that's given is labeling a graph. Because this is foundations for college math, you will be working with graphs, and it is important that you know how to properly label a graph. You need to include a relevant title. You have to label your x-axis and your y-axis. You need to have a reasonable scale. All of these things we will talk about when we get to the specific class where we need to deal with graphs, but it's a good overall something to keep in the back of your mind. Here's what we need to know. So again, that can be found on our Google Classroom under classwork. The first thing is our study guide. There is the textbooks broken down into units 1 to 4. And just to give you a quick example of the workbook, if you need, this will be sent to you. Otherwise, you could be working at home and you spill coffee on it and you want to keep going. It's a PDF that you can print yourself should you need to. I also wanted to highlight that we have our Wahsa Radio Online back up and running. You can visit NNEC's website at nnec.01.ca. There are all of NNEC schools listed. You'll see DFC, Pelican, Wahsa is there. You can click on Wahsa, and if you scroll to the very bottom, there's the Wahsa radio. You can listen online if you don't have a radio nearby. All of our classes will have learning goals. Each class will highlight specific learning goals that we will aim to accomplish. There will always be keywords. Sometimes it's vocabulary, sometimes it's a key concept, but most classes start with need to know vocabulary and or concepts. Again, some might be new, but some will just be a refresher. As I go through the slides, if you're following along on Zoom, you're encouraged to have your independent learning coursework booklet in front of you. As I go through the concepts, you'll see in the top right corner the IL page that we're on. So if I'm talking about a certain concept, I'll say on Unit 1, page 6, you can find it there and work along with me. Each class is going to focus on curriculum content. Concepts will be explained, but you are encouraged to reach out for further clarification if need be. Always ask for clarification if you are unsure. Again, the biggest difference between doing the course by yourself as independent learning or as part of the Radio Zoom class is that I go further into detail, background, explaining the concept, and give examples. As we go through, I will always have an example that we'll work through together to better solidify your understanding. These are different from the support questions. Support questions are wonderful for practice. This is something that we will do together. There will be lesson highlights. A summary of learning will be provided at the end of each class. Use this as a checklist. Use it to ensure understanding. As we go through this last slide, make sure, did you get that? Did that make sense? If you can't confidently put a check mark beside it, then please reach out to me for clarification. Ask questions if you are unsure of anything. I will always wrap up with ways to contact me, but this is posted on our Google Classroom as well, so that you can always find how to reach out if need be. The support questions will be highlighted as we go through each course concept. Should you feel you need more practice, you can try your hand at the support questions by yourself. Remember, you can flip to the back of the unit. You can find out if you're on the right track, if you have done it properly, if your answers match. And then if not, try again. Watch our video recording again. You can reach out to me with questions. We want to make sure that you are successful. Support questions will be on the board most of the time. We don't really get to it, but there are times when we do a review that it's nice to go back and look at those support questions. So again, after every class, because they are recorded, you will find them posted to our Google Classroom shortly after. Sign into our MAP4C Google Classroom to watch the recording, to find resources. You can ask questions on there as well. And if that is something that interests you, it's not used as much with math because it's really hard to type up math solutions into Google Docs. I do use it a lot more for other classes. It is there should you want, but it's mainly a source to house the resources. both your textbook, your workbook, and where to find our YouTube channel, things like that. I hope you got some of your questions answered. I hope you are getting excited for our new school year. I cannot wait to jump into the material with you tomorrow. I will be back on air tomorrow. Remember, every Monday to Thursday from 10 until about 10:50, walking through this course with you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope it was a soft entry and looking forward to starting lesson 1 with you tomorrow. All the best.